Well, folks, here we go again. I guess the big thing going on this morning is Biden's State of the Union message last night. If you'll notice how the Republicans and the Democrats become one party when they're trying to impress to the American people, to the world, how our politicians are really behind our president. Half of it was staged. It was staged to make the world think President Biden is a number one dude. But all we have to do is look at what the hell he's done to this country and what he's still doing to it right now. He's shut down things, and any high school student could probably tell you, you don't stop one thing unless you have something that can back it up right now. Well, he shut down so many things with nobody backups. No backups. From the border to the price of food, to the price of oil, to the price of gas, just making an everyday living, he has really hurt us. But him and his buddies, boy, they are making the millions. And they're still making them. And back to Ukraine. We cannot impose a no-fly zone. We can't start shipping material using Americans or UN personnel into Ukraine. Basically, it's the first stage of starting World War III. Russia will not tolerate it. That's the whole problem with Ukraine and that stupid president of theirs, that if that country gets ruined, it's going to be basically because of him, and I don't give a shit what you people think. Russia is not going to tolerate them going into the UN. But Zelensky, oh man, he can make so much money. He can have so much more protection, right on down to starting World War III. And the United Nations and the United States got to have enough sense to keep them out of the UN. You can work with them, but stay out of the UN. And as far as civilians, man, for you people who's been around long enough to know wars, my God, let's go back to Vietnam. Boy, you want to talk about killing civilians, staging a war against civilians. Man, we are experts at it. We can also go into Afghanistan, go into Iraq. Man, we invaded those countries, and we were responsible for killing a lot of civilians. Now, as far as Russia and Ukraine, if you put people with arms fighting from a building, they're soldiers. And the normal procedure is to fight back. If the Ukrainians are stupid enough to be in schools, churches, and hospitals with weapons and fighting, they're responsible for any youngster, woman, or we'll call them civilians if they don't have guns in their hands. They're responsible for those deaths, period. And you've got civilians, when they're standing in front of an armed convoy and not being harmed, man, you know it's not a war. Okay? Can you imagine if those civilians stood in front of the Israeli army? The Israeli army would run right over them. No, man, the crap that's been going around to the world is just getting all the countries all upset, all gung-ho, all hero type. All these politicians making promises, goddamn, they're just trying to influence the world that we're great guys. They know none of that shit is going to be able to go into Ukraine. The only way it's going to be allowed to go into Ukraine if we start a World War III. Period. And I tell you, it's amazing. Politicians, expert people, generals, some are right on key, most they're following the procedure. Following the procedure. Raise all the hell you can. Start all the problems you can. I love the Ukrainian people. I know a couple of young ladies from Ukraine. One actually served in the military. They're beautiful people. Matter of fact, they got a lot of beautiful women in that country. If I had to get married again, I damn well want to marry one. But anyway, folks, attacking and killing civilians, hospitals, schools, that's a bunch of crap from Ukraine. President just keeps on trying to push the softness of the world into a major goddamn world problem. People have to understand what a war is, what a police action might be, and Russia just trying to protect itself. I'm sorry, hell, I'm going to leave it at this. People of the world are just going nuts.